I've talked about this setup a good handful of times because I really like it. It's a very fun setup to me. This optic I've talked about 6, 7, 10 videos at least. It's very interesting. This is the Discovery Optics ED-AR 1:8x24. It is a first focal plane with exposed turrets. They are lift to operate. They don't have a zero stop. You have a side parallax that goes down very, very close, down to about 5 yards or meters, which is crazy. I can't think of anybody else who's doing an LPVO under 1,000 even. This comes in around a couple $100, and it has a not just a sunshade option, but also a anti-reflection device on the front. This optic is optimized for a number of things. I think a little bit of the tactical application, a little bit of hunting. It's got that side parallax feature, close range, and the capability for long range. Now I've shot this out to, I think 830 was the last time I shot this on a 300 blackout. Lots of internal elevation. One thing I noticed is I typically use this like a 1:5. I really don't use that higher ratio just because of the nature of the design of the optics. So I like the 1:5 range, and I can use the reticle in there comfortably. The illumination, I don't touch too much. But I'm here really close. I'm at about 10 and 15 yards from some steel. I do use this for hunting. Thank you to Anechoic for sending out their X22. Anechoic is a really competitive, lightweight silencer company. They make a lot of titanium cans. You really should check them out because they're impressive and their prices aren't gonna rob you. Kid Innovations sent out their trigger as well as this chassis. This is a Kid Innovations chassis, and this is their flat, lightweight 2-stage trigger. It turns your like 1022s or this BCA 201, that's actually what this is, it turns them into a speed machine, a precision rifle to some degree. You know, you have to bring the fundamentals and the good ammo and have a good action and all that, but I'm telling you, that trigger, probably my favorite. I love their 1-stage. I like their build them up kits so you can get all the parts. And I like their drop-in cassette style. They're all winners. Like everything Kid is the best. I love Kid. But this chassis is great because I can use it in a little bit of hunting, a little bit of tactical application, maybe a 1022 steel match or a Rimfire steel match. And then lately it's just been a lot of hunting actually. But I have my can on there. I don't need my ears. It's very windy. I'm gonna try to hit some steel and just run around on 1 power because I've got that parallax down really close. This is gonna be comfortable and the eye box is gonna work for me. Make sure my stuff doesn't blow away. All right, here we go. And we're empty. Gotta burn through some of this stuff before I get to what the rifle likes. Empty. I intentionally did not bring my 15 or 25 rounder because when I bring this thing out, it tempts me to burn through all my ammo. It's just so quiet. I wear eye protection, typically from Warbird, because of spalling and powder and all that. But I don't need ears or ear protection because this is so quiet. This is only a 16-inch barrel. It's that heavy contour BCA 201. Not the most precise gun in the world, actually, but throwing it inside this chassis with this trigger and then a functionally capable optic has turned this into a really good cross, discipline capable gun. So I can put like the Discovery 4-20 on here and go shoot an NRL match. And I totally would. NRL 22, I would do it with this. Now I'm not as comfortable as I am with my CZs in matches because I just don't have a lot of time on the BCA comparatively, but you could, and I probably would get close to as good in my score. The chassis, I can weight it down. I could throw weights all the way across here and get it to balance out just perfect. Right now, it balances just a touch heavy on the rear because of the Fab Defense full-size wrap stock. But this thing is so fast. And being able to use that 1X with a capable eye box, it's not the best in the business, but it's a capable eye box, and at the price point, these features make this a really unique optic. It is not the best of the LPVOs out there, but at the price point, a lot of hunters, a lot of people who are like, again, cross-discipline interested, if you got a rifle that just needs an optic and you want it to do a little bit more than a red dot does for you, you really should think about this one, or at least watch a few reviews and see what you think about it. I kind of like it. while I'm loading up, I'll tell you a little bit about the way I like to use the optic. So 3 power. 3 power is a great in-between for just about everything on this, because I use this when I go for a little walkabout and I'll look for varmints, small game hunting, that sort of thing. I might come up on grouse that could be as close as 5 yards, and I'd probably still take a ground shot at 30 or 40 yards, especially if I can get planted on a tree or something. I'll probably take a pretty quick shot on them. They move fast, so you can't just expect they're gonna be steady. But if I can get steady, I'll take that shot. Squirrels and rabbits, I would say it's a similar distance. So 3 power gives me enough to magnify just slightly, and my stability factor still feels good. If I was over magnified and I was reducing my field of view and I was hunting in the evening, you know, it's gonna be a dimmer image for sure. As you push up on magnification on these style of optics, you're not gonna get as good of an image. Your glass quality is gonna appear to be diminished, at least in the appearance of things. And since I just value a nice bright image in low light hunting, evening hunting especially, I try to keep it between 1 and 3 power for that hunting application. And then if I'm at the bench, well, then I'll push it up to 5, and I'll fight the eye box a little bit on 5 power. I have run it all the way up to the top and shot it that way. It's more particular for sure. You start to have some eye box and reticle etching, maybe distortion, a couple things there. So I'm just saying, I think this one's optimized a little bit towards the mid power. And so if you're looking at how you're gonna use this, if you're only a 1X shooter, well, I think it's possible. I do think it's possible. It might not look as good as 3 power does, and the same could be said for 6 power. 6 power is probably not as optimized, but down closer to the 3 and 4 power is really not too bad. It's pretty comfortable, and for me, I can walk around, and even at this close of a distance, if I push it up to 3 power, it does not slow me down significantly from when I run it at 1 power. Unless I don't have bullets in the chamber like an idiot. Let's try that again. Yeah, 3 power is super comfortable. So if you own one of these optics and you've been trying to run it on 6 power all the time, or you've only been running on 1 power, I encourage you to find some of the mid-range there, more like 3 power, somewhere in there. Stay away from the extremes if you can on most optics, and find something a little closer. I think you'll be more pleased with it. That's been my experience. And so for what it's worth, this is the Discovery EDAR 1-8, which I use basically like a 1-5 most of the time. Sorry for the wind sound, it is quite windy, and I turned off my mic for a second. I'm gonna run through this at 10-15 yards here on 5 power on this magazine. Just gonna run through back and forth until it's empty, 1 shot per target, left to right, and then I will do it with the 1X, and we'll just find out what seems to be faster. I'm pretty curious about this because I don't know for sure. That's funny. Okay, now I know. That was slow. Field of view is just significantly different. So let's do it at 1 power. Yeah. So I would say it feels twice as fast acquiring the target on the 1X. Even though the 1X isn't perfect, it feels much faster. So that's kind of fun, interesting. Love this setup, really fun. It's a great little hunter. And if you're looking for something that can do cross-discipline, I suppose the optic might be a consideration. The rifle could be a consideration itself, and then the chassis absolutely is. Check out Kid Innovation. All right, it's getting too windy, so I'm just gonna tell you to scroll down to the comment section. I have something there for you to check out in the pinned comment. There are some budget components on this. There are some premium components on this. Whether you're a premium guy, you like that Kid Innovation stuff, or you're a budget guy and you're checking out that Discovery optic, I think there's something there for both of you. Check those out.